A daylight shooting in the city's West End.
A man seriously injured in the afternoon gunfire at an Etobicoke shopping plaza. Good evening. A bullet hole marks the vehicle where the victim was found.
Police responding to the scene over the noon hour near Rathburn and Renforth. CTV's John Woodward joins us live with the latest. John.
Nathan, it's fair to say there were dozens of people here in this plaza getting groceries, filling prescriptions, all of them surprised to see everything play out. Customers were getting their groceries at this plaza at Renforth Drive and Rathburn Road when it erupted into chaos.
I remember stepping out and I just see a bunch of, firemen, police, paramedics. I see some of them kind of going on the floor, so I'm not sure. I assumed that they were giving somebody CPR.
Despainat Dawood took a video of an injured man. We're only showing you a still image. He's standing next to his vehicle around 12:45 p.m., a bandage on his chest, talking to medics and officers. Those officers putting most of the plaza behind police tape. In the heart of the parking lot, this gray vehicle. On its windshield, a single bullet hole. First responders saying one man in his 40s to 50s was taken to hospital with potentially life-threatening injuries.
I'm shocked. I don't know. I've lived here for 30 years, right? Beautiful area, nice park, and it just keeps getting closer and closer to home.
But there's some question as to where the shooting happened. The people we talked to said they didn't hear a gunshot, and police didn't lay down any evidence markers for shell casings. Later in the afternoon, the silver sedan was towed away, slated to become evidence in the ongoing investigation.
It's sad to say. A lot of good people out there, a few bad apples.
A few hours later, shopping for those apples and other groceries had resumed. Since that car was towed, the plaza here has largely gone back to normal. The police tape is down. The victim in hospital. The police searching for suspects. Reporting live from Rathburn Drive, I'm John Woodward. Michelle, back to you.
Thank you, John. Also tonight, a popular burger joint in Etobicoke goes up in flames. The work of a suspected arsonist. We'll tell you what security footage reveals and why this is just one of several incidents here in the past week.
But first, the Peel region, where police are sharing details of arrests in what they describe as a violent criminal network.
More than a dozen suspects taken into custody, believed to be responsible for a series of terrifying incidents, including home invasions and vehicle thefts. CTV's Sean Leathong joins us live with those details. Sean.
Well, Michelle and Nathan, Peel Police describing this as an organized network, but also hitting on the point that these alleged criminals were willing to be very violent in order to get what they wanted.
The early hours of September 10th, 2024, a shooting related to the attempted robbery of this Lamborghini. One person was seriously injured, and police launched Project Ghost. The result, Peel Police announced today.
A total of 13 people have been charged with a total of 197 violent criminal offenses.
23 of the charges are related to organized crime. According to Peel Police, Project Ghost was able to connect several home invasions and car thefts by a group of organized criminals who police say were willing to do the unthinkable in order to get what they want.
Imagine being asleep at your home at 3 o'clock in the morning with your family, your kids, when the door explodes open and masked, armed criminals break into your home and immediately begin to rob you and assault you.
The initial incident happening on August 1st, 2024, referring to a home invasion where victims were stabbed and criminals made off with a Mercedes-Benz. Peel Police say the group is alleged to have committed 10 other home invasions and jewelry thefts.
Recruiting individuals to commit the robberies, providing direction on how to commit the robberies, and the selling of the stolen property after the robberies.
What's even more disturbing about this network is the exploitation of youth, recruiting minors to carry out dangerous crimes.
Peel Police making most of the arrests on June 5th of this year. 7 people are from Mississauga, 3 from Brampton, and 3 from Toronto. Included in the arrests are 5 youths whose names cannot be released, some as young as 15.
These arrests and the 197 charges laid send a very clear message. If you bring violence to our neighborhoods, if you exploit youth, and if you think you can act with impunity, think again.
In total, $1.8 million in goods were stolen. According to police, 1/3 of that has been recovered.
Peel police saying that these alleged criminals were also willing to travel for what they wanted. They would find automobiles, and they had as many incidents in Mississauga, Brampton, but also in Halton region as well. Reporting live, I'm Sean Leathong. Nathan and Michelle, send it back to you.
Thank you, Sean. And we learned today Peel police are investigating after Mayor Patrick Brown and his family were the targets of a death threat. Brown commented on the situation this afternoon.
I've got great confidence in the Peel Police. I feel safe because we have a great police force in Peel Region. This is not the first time I've received a death threat. I did so a number of years ago. I'm sure it won't be the last, and it certainly won't change my approach. I certainly want my family to be safe, and I believe they are, but it won't change my approach to being outspoken about public safety and to do my job accordingly.
Peel police have not provided specific details about their investigation, but did say the threat came from within Canada. Police did not speculate on why Mayor Brown was targeted.
Still ahead, protests, counter-protests, and allegations of mismanagement. Neighborhood groups blast the city over its handling of homeless shelters, bike lanes, and a host of other issues.
But first, let's take a live look outside on this hot Tuesday in the city. The bright sunshine shrouded a bit by hazy conditions. Both the special air quality statement and the heat warning persisting tonight. Lindsay Morrison is here with what you need to know.
Yeah, Michelle, this is a new special air quality statement, different from the one we had yesterday. It was still quite hazy out there, but the air pollution levels not quite as bad. It wasn't quite as smoky. We're at a 7 right now on the air quality health index, which is still high risk, looking at moderate risk tonight, and then on the low end of moderate for tomorrow. So further improvements are coming. It is 32 degrees at this hour. It's hot out there. It feels like 37. That heat warning remaining in place. Not much relief from the winds. They're coming out of the southeast right now. Tonight, we're dropping to about 21. That's not so low for a low. And coming up, we're going to talk about the relief that's coming from the heat. Also a risk of thunderstorms eventually making its way into our neck of the woods. Details in your forecast coming up. For now, though, Michelle, back to you.
Thank you, Lindsay. We turn to allegations of mismanagement and a lack of community consultation at Toronto City Hall.
It sparked dueling protests, with demonstrators expressing concern and anger over a number of decisions made by City Council. CTV's Natalie Johnson joins us live with the details. Natalie.
Well, Nathan, protesters here today allege the city is in a state of disrepair, blaming the administration and calling for sweeping change and more accountability.
Under the scorching sun, the heat was on. Dueling protests as a coalition of neighborhood groups blasted City Hall.
To fight for a return to common decency in our neighborhood.
And counter-protesters fired back.
This is a very small minority of business owners that have a bone to pick with effective solutions to the housing crisis and to traffic.
The community groups calling on the mayor to rethink the administration's approach to bike lanes and bus lanes.
You are beholden to us. It's not the other way around.
We all need to live together on the road and let us make sure that everyone is protected and is safe.
As well as harm reduction services and shelters.
We're extremely worried about what's going on, and we just really want to have a dialogue.
We are not anti-shelter. We are anti-mismanagement.
There's a lot of bureaucracy off the rails right now, and there's a lack of accountability.
While inside City Hall, the shelters they were shouting down were the talk of this table. The Planning and Housing Committee considering zoning amendments that would allow 6 new shelters to be built.
I don't want to live in a society where people get to choose which groups of people live in their neighborhood. It's illegal and it's immoral.
You have to bring the community along. You have to also acknowledge that there are sometimes impacts that come with shelters. And rather than telling people that there's not, how do we build capacity and work together to put the supports in place so that these projects can be successful?
Some groups decrying the lack of community consultation.
To just say that we're going to put these shelters and a bunch of them in your area without any public consultation and ram it through because we have a homeless problem is not the right approach.
While shelter supporters battled back.
To have people stand here and say no shelters is to negate the lives of those that are most desperately need homes.
As we've seen for decades, inaction and a lack of planning has resulted in a homelessness crisis.
The coalition, though, alleging a case of politics over planning.
We're tired of being bulldozed by ideologies that don't fit our communities. It's just been nonstop, no matter what the issue is. City Hall is just taking advantage of its citizens.
Citizens with very different views on the state of the city.
As for those 6 shelter sites, the committee that met today is now calling on council to establish a cross-divisional team to work with counselors and neighborhood groups to develop specific operating plans for those shelter sites to respond to community concerns. Reporting live at City Hall, I'm Natalie Johnson. Nathan, over to you.
Thank you, Natalie. A new report suggests African asylum seekers face significant barriers when trying to resettle in the GTA.
And we've seen the evidence, some forced to sleep on the streets in the summer heat while trying to find shelter. CTV's Alison Hurst reports.
Asylum seekers were forced to sleep on the streets when shelters were over capacity in 2023. The lack of supports was still an issue in April 2024 when Tatiana arrived from Congo and also had to sleep outside. I didn't have anywhere to stay, she says. I didn't have any housing until I found the organization La Passerelle. She was interviewed for the report titled Understanding the Experiences of African Asylum Seekers in Peel, York Region and Toronto. I felt abandoned and lost because I don't speak English, she says. The report found housing is out of reach, employment pathways are blocked, the system is fragmented, and anti-Black racism shows up at every turn.
We heard, primarily Black-led organizations and leaders raise the cry and the alarm to say that this needs attention.
The report was released by the United Way of Greater Toronto and focused on interviews with 9 service providers and 29 African asylum seekers. One wrote, I don't want to mention the company, but the interviewer outrightly told me that he cannot give any job to a Black person or to an African. They don't trust us. I feel that there should be job placement programs for immigrants. It's not easy.
Most of the work that we're doing is to really help these newcomers, Black, to settle, if I may say so, here in Toronto by offering cultural adapted program and services.
The recommendations focus on programs and services, investments and policy. La Passerelle is a nonprofit that was on the ground on Peter Street during the crisis.
The fact that these refugees only speak French and they have to immerse themselves in the majority services speaking in English, it was really a trauma for these refugees.
Adoma Patterson, the director of community outreach with the United Way, says they reflected on the crisis with the City of Toronto and regions of Peel and York to try and prevent a reactive approach next time.
The City of Toronto has now identified a Black mandated and led shelter that is part of their plans.
Having the support of La Passerelle for Tatiana means she's starting to plan her future. I am so happy to live here because I can express myself. Like when I don't understand, I have the support, she says. Support that she hopes will become more available. Alison Hurst, CTV News.
A fire that ripped through a West End burger joint is being investigated as a suspected arson.
As CTV's Janice Golding reports, it's not the first time the popular restaurant has been targeted.
By mid-afternoon, the cleanup began. Workers dealing with shattered glass and assessing the damage inside this Burger's Priest at Queensway near the 427.
Right there, that window there. He broke it, kicked it in, went in, did his stuff.
Restaurateur John Candleberg owns the California sandwich shop next door and says this is the 4th time since last Wednesday his neighbor has been targeted. Security video we've seen of the most recent incident shows a man kick in this window at around 3 in the morning. He tosses in a large blue backpack and then crawls in after it on his stomach. About a minute later, he reemerges, seems to wait for the fire to start, and then he puts his head back in through the window. Seconds later, his upper body's engulfed in an explosion.
He falled, he rolled, and then it was like he just sprinted off.
Candleberg says there were 3 other incidents over the last week. On Thursday and Saturday, the garbage bins were set alight, and last Wednesday, he says the side entrance was torched.
They're in this awning here. They pour gas, light the match, and it wasn't lighting. So the second guy goes in, probably saying, is everything okay? Blah, 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 and then you see it go boom. And one guy rolled, and yeah, it was crazy.
He was on fire.
Yeah, it was out of a movie. I thought they were shooting a movie here.
Fire crews say last night's fire started in the interior before migrating to the roof. There were some concerns a cleaner was inside the building at the time of the explosion, but police confirmed there were no injuries.
Well, that's horrible. I mean, this is an establishment in our neighborhood, and someone's burning it down. That's wild.
It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I like the burgers there. I mean, I didn't think that this was like type of area this type of stuff happens in, but yeah. 4 times in a week is definitely targeted.
He just came from across the street, came over here, right behind the bin, got all this stuff ready.
Candleberg says it's been surreal watching these crimes unfold on security video.
Doesn't make me feel good. I spoke to the owner actually on the first incident, and he came out and said, I don't know why they would do this.
The investigation continues. Janice Golding, CTV News.
The cost of Trump's tariffs is starting to show up in the price of goods Americans buy as inflation shot up south of the border 2.7%.
Canada also recorded an inflation increase to 1.9%. Not as high as the U.S., but still enough to make it uncomfortable for Canadians. CTV's Abigail Beeman has more.
Bought it late, and the price was very high.
The cost of living is definitely not equivalent to what like an entry-level job or even like a decent paying job.
Overall, new numbers from Statistics Canada show the consumer price index rose 1.9% year over year in June, and that's up from 1.7% in May. But important to note, when you take energy out of the equation, the number is much higher, 2.7%, and that's in part because of the removal of the carbon tax. Gas prices continue to be lower, though June's decline was smaller than in May. And of course, many people are focused on the cost of food. The good news for your grocery bill is food prices are increasing at a slower pace, largely driven by a decline in vegetable prices, specifically helped by cheaper onions and cucumbers. And car prices are up 4.1%. Used cars jumped 1.7%, and that's the first year-over-year increase in 18 months. Statistics Canada doesn't have much to say about the impact of U.S. tariffs, with some economists believing it may be too early to feel the impact.
If anything, that should be depressing prices because it's restricting our exports, that's weakening our markets, but I don't think that's having a big impact. We didn't levy counter tariffs on many things, and we've already pulled back on a number of them.
These numbers are the last look the Bank of Canada has at price data before the next interest rate decision. That's coming July 30th. The key interest rate currently sits at 2.75%. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has put Canadians on notice. Mark Carney is casting doubt on Canada securing a tariff-free trade deal with the United States.
Carney had some modified messaging as he met virtually with his cabinet to discuss U.S. President Donald Trump's threat of increased tariffs. CTV's Rachel Aiello reports.
I expect that the discussions will intensify between now and the end of the month.
Staring down an August 1st deadline, today the Prime Minister convened a rare summer cabinet meeting to discuss U.S. President Donald Trump's latest 35% tariff threat. With the goalpost moved again, Carney lowered expectations that Canada can get a deal that would result in Trump dropping all tariffs, noting that so far no country has managed to secure a tariff-free trade agreement with the U.S.
It certainly comes off as a bit of a wake-up call.
It's an admission this lawyer, who used to litigate for Canada against the United States, says sends a clear signal to businesses.
If a baseline tariff does look like it's going to stick, then all of a sudden you can't operate in that environment forever, and you have to make real lasting decisions with respect to your customers and your suppliers.
Trump today sounded more optimistic about how talks are going.
We're negotiating with Canada right now, and we'll see how that all works out. I think it's going to work out very well.
This comes as data suggests Canadians are split on their confidence in Carney delivering a deal. New polling shows 63% of Canadians surveyed said they want the Prime Minister to push back and take a harder line in negotiations, while 37% prefer a softer approach.
Domestic confidence is going to be important. Carney needs to feel like he has a mandate from the people of Canada.
Carney campaigned on a promise to take on Trump with his elbows up. But since winning the election, even as the president has ratcheted up the trade war, Canada has not levied any new retaliatory tariffs on the U.S. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
9 First Nations in Ontario want provincial and federal laws intended to fast-track infrastructure projects declared unconstitutional. A legal challenge has been launched against the federal law known as Bill C-5 and the Ontario law known as Bill 5. Indigenous communities are seeking an injunction saying both laws represent a clear and present danger to the self-determination of ways of life on their territories. The First Nations insist they're not anti-development. They simply want to see the necessary information is gathered before proceeding, and rights and protections are respected.
4 astronauts are back home after a return flight from the International Space Station. Their SpaceX capsule splashed down off the Southern California coast around 5:30 this morning. The crew lifted off nearly 3 weeks ago on a private flight chartered by the Houston company Axiom Space. The first astronauts in more than 40 years from India, Poland, and Hungary conducted dozens of experiments aboard the orbiting lab. The last time the 3 countries put anyone in space was during the late 1970s and 1980s. On this mission, they were joined by an experienced U.S. astronaut who served as commander.
Back here at home, students may not associate summer school with having fun.
But a new program at the Toronto District School Board is hoping to change that, and students can earn a high school credit as well. CTV's John Musselman reports.
Learning to bake is a lot more appetizing than sitting in a hot, stuffy summer school classroom. There are ingredients to follow, teamwork, and a sense of accomplishment.
But today I learned how to cook a muffin, and I felt like that was really cool. Something I've never been able to do before.
It's good learning how to work together with people to bake. Usually when I try with others, like my friends, it ends up going downhill.
These students are here from across the city. They are entering grade 9 at different high schools in September. They're enrolled in a summer Reach Ahead program at Western Tech near Bloor and Runningmead. It is offered by the Toronto District School Board to expose students to technology and skilled trades.
And they're getting a grade 9 technology credit. It's the first time we've run this program. The government has now made grade 9 tech a compulsory course. We've offered different things in the past, but we decided to change it to this compulsory credit. They'll get a credit under their belt.
The students move from one area to the next throughout the day. In this room, they're learning how to make bird houses and elastic wind-up race cars. They even got a chance to race them.
At the end of high school, some of the students are really excited to learn the design process, to get into engineering, automotive engineering, architecture.
I really like it. It's really fun, and it's like I'm really interested in like technology and the skilled trades.
Well, I wanted to do auto next year because I want to work for the TDC when I'm older.
The new program is designed to introduce students, particularly young women, to potential careers in engineering, technology, and the skilled trades. John Musselman, CTV News.
Coming up, the power grid under pressure, how extreme weather is testing the limits of outdated infrastructure not designed for today's increasing energy needs, and the race to find solutions.
And I'm Pat Foran. Coming up on Consumer Alert, Canadians are losing millions of dollars every month to cryptocurrency scams. The fraud usually involves fake videos generated with artificial intelligence. 2 viewers just lost more than $60,000. All of that story, that's just ahead.
Well, today was our 13th 30-degree day here in the city of Toronto in 2025. We've had 8 of them in July alone. Compare that to last summer when we had 10 total, and it looks like we're going to have another one tomorrow. 31 degrees is what we're forecasting, but it is going to feel closer to 40. Relief from this heat is coming. In fact, by Friday, we will be breathing a breath of fresh air. Stay with us. We've got another full night of great shows for you right here on CTV.
In the last 4 years, Canadians have lost more than $1 billion to investment scams, and many of them involve cryptocurrency fraud.
Victims may see a video or advertisement featuring a prominent politician or celebrity, but the ads are fakes generated with AI. Here's Pat Foran and Consumer Alert. Pat.
Nathan and Michelle, we hear from people every week who have lost money investing in cryptocurrencies after watching fake ads or news stories. Some people lose a little, some people lose a lot, but once the money is gone, it's almost impossible to get it back.
We got stung big time.
Donald and Ghislaine Perkins of Ottawa say it was in January when they saw a video of then Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland. She appeared to be talking about an investment opportunity that could make them rich.
I urge each of you to seize this opportunity and register for the project. I personally guarantee the safety of your funds.
We bought into it, and we got swindled by a very smooth-talking couple of individuals.
The Perkins started out investing just a few $100s, but eventually handed over their life savings of more than $42,000.
When we went to access the money, they wouldn't give it to us and said that we had to give them $10,000.
Mark Carney came on with a woman that is very prominent in the bank system.
Brenda Dion of Whitby invested in cryptocurrencies after watching a deepfake video of Prime Minister Mark Carney.
Make your initial deposit. From that point on, the algorithm earns on your behalf.
Dion says after she handed over her banking information, the fraudsters cleaned out her bank account of $16,000.
I said, I don't want you taking this money out of my account. I said, stop taking my money.
Fraudsters are using fraudulent ads on social media to get victims.
The Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre says Canadians lost $310 million to investment scams last year, and $190 million involved cryptocurrency scams. Most frauds involved altered video using AI to make it appear someone is saying to invest in a platform which is completely fake.
If you're opening up your search engine and you're searching up a crypto investment, that the first 5 to 10 results, are going to be more than likely fraudulent platforms.
The Perkins have health problems and were hoping to boost their retirement savings, but instead lost it all.
I have a bag in my stomach, and I go to dialysis 3 times a week. This was a good portion of our life savings.
And you should be skeptical of videos you see online urging you to invest, and do your own research. Also, if you lose money to a crypto scam, you'll be contacted by someone saying they can get it back for a fee, and that's also a scam. On your side, I'm Pat Foran.
If you have a consumer story idea, email us at alert@ctv.ca.
Well, the air quality a little bit better today, the humidity a little bit better. Overall, a bit of a better day.
You know what? I definitely sensed it walking out today and certainly felt really nice. We got the sunshine. But yes, it's not ideal because you've been keeping an eye on where we are in terms of air quality levels. But do you think the rain we're anticipating might wash some of that away?
Well, here's the thing. The rain needs to be a sure thing in order for that difference to be made. Right now, it's just a chance, both Wednesday and Thursday, but pretty good chance, especially into the day on Thursday. What we do know is that the passing of a front is going to cool us down. I'm actually looking forward to Friday. I love the heat, but 25 degrees with mainly sunny skies, that sounds pretty nice too. Let's talk about today. Yes, the smoke not as bad as it was yesterday, but I'm still struggling to find our Toronto skyline in this shot captured by our CTV News chopper. It was another hazy day. Fortunately, the air pollution not as bad as yesterday. And of course, on top of this, it's been hot and humid. So a great day to cool off at the pool. That's McGregor Park in Scarborough. Also a nearby splash pad. That's a good choice as well on a day like this. So there's been a lot going on. Hot, hazy, humid, drifting smoke. It's been a very stagnant air mass, so this smoke hasn't been going anywhere too quickly. But as we make our way into Thursday and Friday, further improvement is expected. In fact, tomorrow, the Air Quality Health Index, look at these lower numbers. Low risk in places like Hamilton, London, and Windsor. We're expected to be at a 4 or on the low end of moderate here in Toronto. This heat warning remains in place. It will be in place for another day. Tomorrow is going to feel like 40. I do want to point out the temperature difference across northern Ontario compared to the south. This is thanks to a very sharp cold front that's also triggering some intense thunderstorms and sparking rainfall warnings in some areas too. The weather not expected to be quite as dramatic here in southern Ontario, but a change is coming. I'll show you when in just a moment. Overnight tonight, 21 for the low, still a bit hazy out there and still quite warm. Camp forecast for tomorrow for the kids, again, improving air quality. A chance of a shower in the afternoon, late afternoon or early evening. But ahead of that, mix of sun and cloud, just once again, hot and muggy. Extra water bottles, a good idea, and sun protection too. Temperatures in the 30s right across southern Ontario, but feeling close to 40 in many communities, including around the GTA and here in Toronto. Okay, let's talk about this cold front. So it is situated still in through northern sections of Ontario. We become a little more unsettled as we make our way through the next couple of days. So not a guarantee, but we do see signs of a few pop-up showers tomorrow afternoon. That's after a mix of sun and cloud for a good portion of the day. Can't rule out the possibility of a thunderstorm in some areas either. And then here comes Thursday. So this is going to be a front that's going to start to cool us down, maybe set off a few showers or thunderstorms. Might get a few stronger storms thunderstorms in the afternoon, followed by a cloudy Thursday evening. Then that's going to clear out. We will enjoy sunshine into the day on Friday and certainly cooler conditions. So 31 degrees tomorrow, 29 for Thursday, 25 for Friday and for Saturday. We're seasonal into the weekend. I'm keeping an eye on Sunday for at least the chance of showers, but overall, not a bad looking weekend. That's your forecast for now. Nathan, over to you.
Thank you, Lindsay. We've experienced wild weather swings over the past few years, putting massive amounts of stress on our power grid.
Prompting warnings that in the next 5 to 10 years, half of North America's population could be at risk of blackouts. With more on what's at stake, here is the newest recipient of the Satchadena CTV News Fellowship, Rukhsar Ali.
Extreme weather events have left thousands of Canadians without power, sometimes for weeks. And climate change could make it worse.
The grid that we have today has not been designed for accommodating such extreme scenarios.
Between 2013 and 2023, Canada's 10 most significant weather events that impacted power grids caused about 20 million electricity interruptions to customers.
More shortfalls can occur during these extreme weather events, and it poses a serious concern for reliability.
A recent report from the North American Electric Reliability Corporation, or NERC, found that most provinces were found to be increasingly vulnerable during extreme weather, putting them at risk of shortfalls. Nova Scotia, one of the most vulnerable.
We've had Hurricane Dorian, Hurricane Fiona, which is the biggest storm we've ever had in Nova Scotia. We had Hurricane Lee, we've had wildfires, floods, pretty much everything, and all of those have weakened the power system.
Utilities like this in the province are taking some future-proofing steps by swapping out older poles with stronger ones.
The lightning hits, and all of a sudden there is a short circuit.
At the University of Toronto's Grid Modernization Centre, Ali Hushiar and his team are running real-time simulations using super-powered computers to find solutions. One solution is smart technology. That includes sensors and software to communicate information along the grid, to make supply decisions faster and to minimize disruptions when the grid's under pressure. Climate change isn't the only factor putting pressure on the grid. So is increased demand, with more people using everything from electric vehicles to heat pumps.
We're going to need more wind, more solar, more hydro, more nuclear to be able to meet the challenges of the future.
And the artificial intelligence boom is another potential challenge. Massive amounts of electricity needed to run thousands of servers.
10 years ago, if we were told that 10 years later, one of your biggest challenges is going to be AI data centers, people would think that this is just science fiction.
The major challenge is meeting Canada's energy needs before demand outpaces progress. But with more frequent extreme weather events and more strain on the grid, that task is becoming more urgent. Rukhsar Ali, CTV News, Toronto.
Also tonight, the noms are in and there's plenty of CanCon. The nominees for the 77th Emmy Awards have been announced, and several Canadians made the cut. Researchers at Guelph University are working to protect Canadian poultry from avian flu.
And in doing so, they're hoping to shield our human population, too. CTV's health reporter Pauline Chan explains.
In the U.S., poultry are vaccinated against avian flu, but in Canada?
There are different countries, including like China or Mexico, that they have like vaccination strategies actively being performed. But Canada is one of those countries that does not vaccinate.
Veterinarian and Guelph University researcher Fatima Fazel says it allows Canada to export poultry products to other countries which may have different regulations, but that isn't stopping Guelph U researchers from developing a new mRNA vaccine to protect chickens from avian flu.
It encodes for two main surface protein of avian influenza. And then when chickens are vaccinated with these mRNA codes, chickens like cells start to translate this mRNA code to protein. So when the actual virus infects the chicken, a chicken's immune system is already informed about those like sequences. So it starts to respond much faster and more robust to prevent virus replication and virus shedding.
Avian flu has hit many flocks in the U.S. and Canada. It has also affected dairy cattle, and one U.S. farm worker has died of the illness. But the virus has not yet shown the ability to be transmitted from human to human, something the Canadian Medical Association journal warns could be just around the corner.
If it becomes transmissible from human to human, we are looking at another huge public health crisis.
Fazell says it's impossible to say if human-to-human transmission of avian flu is inevitable, but as U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. proposes a policy of allowing avian flu to work its way through American flocks instead of culling infected birds, Fazell says Canadians must be prepared.
If we have that susceptible chicken population, it replicates much faster, and viruses have the time to mutate and find ways to adapt to mammalians or human.
So limiting the spread of avian flu helps chickens and ultimately humans as well. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
New 911 audio reveals the moments after a high-stakes theft of unreleased Beyonce music in Atlanta.
It's someone broke into my car. They have my computers, and it's really, really important information in there. Like, I work with someone who's like of a high status, and I really need the my computer and everything.
That's the voice of Christopher Grant, Beyonce's choreographer, after discovering someone broke into his rental vehicle and stole unreleased new music by Beyonce, tour plans, and set lists. Police have issued an arrest for an unnamed suspect.
Fans had to wait a while for Severance to return to TV, but it was worth it. The drama received 27 Emmy nominations this morning.
CTV's Andrea Case now on some of the other nominees for the 77th Annual Emmy Awards.
Ever since I came to the studio as a kid and went on the tour, being the head of Continental is the only job I've ever wanted.
It was good news for Vancouver's Seth Rogen. He created and stars in the Apple TV Plus comedy, The Studio.
The Studio. This is a new show, and I think it's going to shake up this category.
The comedy about the behind-the-scenes workings of a Hollywood movie studio will go up against Abbott Elementary, The Bear, Hacks, Nobody Wants This, Only Murders in the Building, Shrinking, and What We Do in the Shadows. Rogen will face off against fellow nominees in the Outstanding Actor in a Comedy Series with fellow Canadian Martin Short, Adam Brody, Jason Segel, and Jeremy Allen White. White stars in The Bear. While the debate continues whether or not The Bear is a comedy, it was nominated for the most Emmy Awards this morning. The Bear co-star Ayo Edebiri will go up against Uzo Aduba, whose show The Residents was told last week it will not be renewed. When it came out this spring, everyone was talking about the British drama Adolescence. It was nominated for Outstanding Limited or Anthology Series.
I will say there's one on there called The Pit. This is with Noah Wiley from ER fame, and this is kind of this raw look at the healthcare system today in Pittsburgh. And I got to say, that's probably, if you want to talk about drama, that's probably one that's nipping at Severance's heels.
The 77th Annual Emmy Awards will take place on September 14th. Andrea Case, CTV News.
A pair of Toronto culinary icons are being honored. The owners of Carousel Bakery at St. Lawrence Market have received a key to the city.
Morris and I are touched and deeply grateful to receive this unexpected honor from your worship, Mayor Chow. This recognition awarded here in front of Carousel and this historic, beloved institution is truly remarkable.
Robert and Maurice Biancallen are being recognized for their contributions to community, culture, and character of one of the city's most historic public spaces. The brothers have been serving their world-famous pea meal bacon sandwiches and baked goods for nearly 50 years. They're now preparing to retire and pass the torch.
After the break, tributes pour in for the world's oldest marathon runner. How the 114-year-old is being remembered here and around the world.
I'm shocked. I don't know. I've lived here for 30 years, right? You know, beautiful area, nice park.
Updating our top stories, a man suffered serious injuries after being shot at a plaza in Etobicoke today. This happened over the noon hour. The victim was found in a vehicle in the parking lot.
Just say that we're going to put these shelters and a bunch of them in your area without any public consultation and ram it through because we have a homeless problem is not the right approach.
To have people stand here and say no shelters is to negate the lives of those that are most desperately need homes.
Dueling protests at City Hall today, some demanding council rethink its approach to issues such as housing, bike lanes, and bus lanes. Others applauded current efforts to address challenges facing the city.
The cost of living is definitely not equivalent to what like an entry-level job or even like a decent paying job.
The annual inflation rose to 1.9% in June. Consumers paid more for new and used cars, while prices at the pump were nearly unchanged. Today's data further adds to expectations. The Bank of Canada will hold its benchmark rate steady at 2.75% later this month.
Remember to keep up to date day and night at ctvnewstoronto.ca and by downloading the CTV News app.
On the markets, the Canadian dollar sitting at 72.89 cents U.S., down about 1/10 of a cent. Our fix on Western Canadian Select has it at just over $55 a barrel, down $1.45. And the TSX slipped almost 145 points, ending at 27,054.
The Business Report is brought to you by Canadian Western Bank, the bank built for business.
The man believed to be the world's oldest marathon runner is being remembered tonight. He died at the age of 114 in a tragic incident in India. Fauja Singh was 100 years old when he ran the Toronto Waterfront Marathon. That was back in 2011. He only took up running seriously at age 89, running full marathons in New York, London, and Mumbai.
Fauja was not only an amazing athlete, but an amazing inspiration and gentleman who we get to share in our city and all of our running community, the city as a whole. I got to know him very well personally from 2003 when he came to our event for the first time, 92 years old, ran 5 hours and 40 minutes. It was a world record for 90-year-olds at that time, and it made the headlines of Runner's World, a day for the ages.
Local media in India say Singh sustained severe head injuries in a hit and run yesterday while he was crossing the road. He was 114.
Soccer fans hoping to attend the 2026 World Cup in Toronto and elsewhere can start applying for tickets on September 10th. Fans are being encouraged to visit FIFA.com/tickets to register and create an ID. It is needed to apply for the first chance to buy tickets on the 10th. The ID will also ensure potential buyers are notified of further ticketing dates and next steps. Tickets will be released in phases due to anticipated high demand and will continue up to the tournament final. World Cup tickets are already available for Canadians willing to pay a premium. They start at $2,500 for a single game package. Canada will host 13 games, including 6 in Toronto.
2 Blue Jays will take to the field tonight in the MLB All-Star Game in Atlanta. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will start at first base and bat 5th for the American League. He'll hit behind the Mariners' Cal Raleigh. Blue Jay catcher Alejandro Kirk is also on the AL roster as one of the reserves. The 2022 Silver Slugger Award winner is making his second All-Star Game appearance.
Just ahead, cultivating cricket in Canada. Kids take a swing at the sport guided by top-tier players. The efforts to make the game accessible and grow a new legion of fans. Finally tonight, Toronto kids getting a chance to take a swing at cricket.
The lesson is courtesy of some international cricketers who showed off their skills in Scarborough today. CTV's Scott Lightfoot was there.
In a space usually filled with ice and skates, today it was all wickets and bowls. Dozens of kids from Scarborough got the chance to learn the fundamentals of cricket from some of the game's top-tier players inside the Malvern Community Centre.
Our thing here is to give them that kind of joy and kind of spread that kind of little love so that they could take it home and be like, Mom, I think I want to be a part of cricket.
This clinic is part of the TD Young Wickets program, aimed at helping to grow the game across this country.
It's a very popular game across the world, second most popular sport in the entire world. But here in Canada, there's not enough places to play. So we want to make sure it's accessible.
Along with today's introduction, TD provides take-home cricket kits so the kids can take the game back into their neighborhoods.
It's just about like putting them in their mind, and it's for them to decide whether they like the sport, they want to play it again, they want to watch it again, whether play as a player or watch as a fan, like different kids will choose different directions.
It was clear that some kids had tried cricket before, others not so much. But many involved with today's event say getting youth involved in the sport is one of the biggest keys to growing the game's popularity here in Canada.
I think maybe out of 10, maybe 2 of them will pick up the sport and then maybe end up playing for nationals or for Team Canada or maybe a club cricket, yeah.
And for those looking to cheer on a team, hopes of a professional club in this city or even this country could help create a whole new legion of fans.
If you can get that here and you have role models on TV, these kids can obviously, they want to play cricket, they want to play for Canada, they want to play for Toronto. So I think once you see that happening, the growth's going to keep going.
Scott Lightfoot, CTV News.
Well, a great story. And if you're heading to a cricket field tonight, I want to remind you of the fact that it's hot, it's humid, and we still have this special air quality advisory in place, likely for the rest of the night tonight. Tomorrow, we anticipate a little more improvement as far as air quality is concerned. Expect a mix of sun and cloud during the day, chance of showers in the afternoon, maybe a quick passing storm, but another 30-degree day, 31, in fact, will feel closer to 40. But a cool down is coming. We're really going to notice it by late Thursday and into Friday, and then the weekend at this point looking comfortable and not bad condition-wise. Michelle and Nathan.
Love the sounds of that. Thank you, Lindsay. That is it for us, but be sure to join Omar Sajidina tonight at 11 for CTV National News, followed by Zoraida Allman with our next local newscast at 11:30.
Meantime, our coverage continues anytime on CP24 and at ctvnewstoronto.ca.
For Lindsay Morrison and all of us here at CTV News, thanks for watching and have a great night.